talked to Dr. Duaze, the hospitalist, and after looking at your scan, man, your airway's getting tight. I mean, it's, he was telling me a couple of days ago you were doing pretty good, that you didn't have all that wheezing or striderish sound. But the scan from 10 days ago, I mean, your airway is like that.
Oh my gosh.
On the scan. So I'm not all that surprised after the radiation that you probably got some swelling where the tumor is, and that's probably what's happening. So the issue is you probably need a stent in your airway to hold it open. Yeah, we don't do them here. So there's an interventional guy at Tulane in New Orleans that does them. I heard there was somebody in Baton Rouge that does them. There's an ENT doc over there who kind of specializes in airway issues, Dr. McWhorter. And I heard that there was a pulmonologist who did stents as well. So I think between the two of those, they should be able to find some way. So they'll typically put the stents in with a scope. The issue is going to be it's going to be a high risk procedure just because it involves your airway, and so if you're not getting air in, things are going to go bad. So the issue is trying to ventilate you and keep. When they put you to sleep, because they got to put you to sleep to put the stent in, they're probably going to have to use just something in your upper airway. You can't get a tube past this thing. I mean, it's this big. I mean, there's no way to get a regular, what they call an endotracheal tube, which is a tube they put in when they do surgery. I don't think there's any way to get one past that blockage. So they're going to have to try to ventilate you while the stent's being put in to try to open things up in there. Now the stents work pretty well. Like I said, we don't do them here, but just from reading about the stents and that type of thing, they work pretty well to keep your airway open. And just kind of give the radiation time to do what it needs to do, give the swelling time to go down. You probably need to keep a stent in, but eventually you may need to have a trach put in. Dr. Chaston talked to you about that? The problem is your tumor is right there, where the trachs normally go. You have a tumor wrapped around your trachea. And so they hesitate to put a tube through the tumor. It's not normal tissue, so it's not going to heal normally. And especially if you're getting radiation or chemotherapy along with it, that tissue is going to hopefully the cells start dying in the tumor. So then you have to trach through dying tissue. It may not ideal. There is nothing easy about your case. This does not happen very often. So for that reason, I think it best to for you to be somewhere where they manage these things a little more frequently than we do. We see some weird stuff around here, but not like, we don't typically take care of this kind of, this is a little, kind of needs to be a little more specialized. Good job.
The best airway you ever heard, huh?
We were just talking about it.
Once a week. So what you're saying is that regimen is probably not aggressive enough to shrink these things fast enough.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know how fast this is going to respond. But I would not take a chance on it. I'll just put it that way. Because your airway is so compromised. I just don't think I would wait much longer to try to stent it.
We met with Anderson today, and
The radiation?
yeah,
Okay.
and he's saying that he'd like to continue the radiation. He has hopes that this will shrink eventually. He's had success with that, and he kind of wants to wait on the stent, and then
I think it was where he was at was getting the irradiation started as fast as possible to try to hit it as quick as possible to get it to shrink as fast.
yeah.
as possible.
But
I'm
you
guessing
don't
when
think-
y'all are in, from the scans y'all have seen, you're saying that it's probably not a good idea to wait.
I would.
You would.
That's just my opinion. I completely understand what Anderson's saying, but
And being transferred, he'd get radiation there to get stent as well. Yeah.
I'm sure. It may not be right away, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would be a huge delay in getting the radiation restarted there.
Okay.
My main concern is the airway, and that's kind of my big concern is that the tumor will eventually shrink with radiation therapy, but the possibility that there's swelling during the radiation is a real thing.
Yeah.
And that would be my hesitation, without something to protect what we have. Because, like I said, I don't think you can get an endotracheal tube down there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way.
So we don't want to go poking in there and make it swell more either. Until they're looking to evaluate and see the size of it and get it, prevent you from having an acute obstruction, you know?
So you could always, if push came to shove, you could always do a trach rapidly, but again, you're going through tumor to get it in. Now, we would obviously do that in order to keep you alive, but I think I would try to avoid that at all costs.
Well, yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah.
And Shasta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
Shaston. In fact, I had a call into Shaston's office. We hadn't been able to hook up yet. But I talked to Dwazes and earlier. But I'll try to call Shaston.
That would be great.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good to see you.
Are we still on?
No,
No.
I want it, because we have to go through here with the scope. And
Ah.
if the airways are compromised, and we worry about that too, you know. Especially if the airways are compromised already, we're going next to it, but it's right next to it.
I
Okay,
would probably
so
hold off on that too.
Yeah.
That'd be my recommendation.
He's the airway
Well-
specialist, so we listen to him.
how does he get food?
Well,
What's that?
the thing surgery.
How does he get food with no
That would
peg?
be-
Well, he's gonna have, he's probably gonna need to stay on the
Yes.
peripheral feeling for now.
Probably put one in
That-
more easily.
This is okay,
Yeah.
short term. I
They
mean,
might
I
be
get
able
where,
to do
you
it-
know,
the radiologist might
you
do
wanna
it.
make sure he has good
Yeah,
nutrition,
it's
but
been
this is,
4 days already.
Yeah, well,
The fact that you have one already will
you
make it
gotta forgive
easier.
us,
actually,
coming in,
the Second one.
the,
Not in the
almost the
same
whole time
hole,
we've
right
been,
next
we've
to it.
been getting a lot of mixed, you know, this is more important, this is more important.
No,
gotta
I get
keep
it,
this weight
yeah.
up, and
Yeah.
basically, we were trying to kind of formulate a plan of A, B, and C.
so, like I told you, there's nothing normal here.
Yeah.
And so, you have, I think to get to a place where they take care of difficult airways like this is the most important thing. Because that's the thing that's gonna kill you first is your airway closing off. So, nutrition's gonna kill, if you don't get nutrition, that's gonna kill you down the road. What's gonna kill you tomorrow is your airway closing off. So, that would be my primary goal and primary concern. When we go through the ABCs of life support,
Breathing is,
A is the airway.
Airway.
So that's my primary goal here is to make sure that that stays open, and then everything else can happen if this is taken care of. So nothing takes precedent over that. Okay.
How am I gonna eat?
Well, you're not. No. You're gonna get some nutrition. You're gonna get adequate, some calories here. I know you want to eat, but
Can I have a surgical bed,
because okay, again, it goes back to your airway. To do surgery, you have to be put to sleep by anesthesia. They have to control your breathing while they're sticking a tube here in your stomach. So, without an adequate airway, you may not survive that procedure.
Well, I just had something here. And he said that the radiologist got just do it long last.
Yeah, but they're gonna want to sedate you too. So I just don't think we're gonna be able to do any of those things until your airway is controlled.
Okay,
Sorry.
appreciate you.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.